Hey there, subtropic fruit fans from Melbourne Subtropic Fruits. Now we're in the last week of this summer that I follow. I don't follow the calendar. I follow the moon, the equinoxes, and the solstices. So my belief is that things start changing around the end of next week, around the 21st of March. So here we have the Alfonso that had a few fruit on it until we had some really crook weather in December, January, but it's managed to hold on to one. So we've got one Alfonso for tasting, probably in winter, but that hasn't started another flush yet, but it's due to. Oh, I did a little flush a while back, but that's all hardened up. Now this is the Paxton Prolific, which everyone seems to love. I don't like the flavour of it. It's come back to life after the previous winter nearly dying. It sort of grew down to, it lost everything down to there, and now it's coming back. It has that ability, which is good, but I baby it over winter now. I don't leave it in the open where it gets quite cold. Where it's sitting, it goes back under the shade cloth. Everyone's heard about the Pixie Acerola, the little dwarf one. Now it's been flowering like crazy, not holding any fruit, but I'm in belief that I think some may have set like the larger acerolas do around now. A bit like chilies. Chilies don't tend to set fruit until February in Melbourne, like the really hot ones, like the ghost chili and stuff. But I'm keen to really taste this. It looks like a fun little plant. Now the Chrysui Sapodilla, Chico, whatever you want to call it. This has come back to life. It was nearly dead, but I potted it up in a much more acidic potting mix, and it's showing what it's doing. And I'm using actually Searle's acidic flourish fertilizer on it, and it's doing really well. Now over here we've got the couple of jackfruit. Now this one I've had for 10 years, but oh no, not this one. I'll show you the other one. Yeah, this one I've had. This was a Kwai muck, and the Kwai muck section died above the rootstock. So the rootstock's grown, and it's definitely a couple of metres high. It's nearing probably 3 metres. Well, probably without the pot, it's about 2 and a bit. But anyway, it's got mature leaves. So they're all mature leaves. So this technically should fruit next spring or summer. Now next to it this was a jackfruit cutting that I had from Police Road. I think all of his died, but this one's still going. But it had an accident, and I pugged it down the bottom. You can see the big cut there, and it shot up new growth. But it was actually mature. See how it's got the bifurcated leaves? That means it's immature, but it's actually starting to produce mature round leaves, like a grafted one would. Now what have we got going here? Oh, that's the devil fig. That had failure there. But at my garden plot I grafted onto a pea eggplant, and they're doing well. Now what have we got here? We'll slowly go around rather than panning quickly and making everyone dizzy. Oh yeah, the ice cream bean. Everyone likes their ice cream beans, but this one's taken forever to fruit. Fruited last year. I got viable seed from it, and that one seed has grown 3 plants from one seed. So it's a multi-type seed, like some mangoes. But there's a fruit right up the top that's set. They're pretty hard to set fruit unless you've got lots and lots of flowers happening at once. But that's still going okay. Now some nice new acquisitions that I got. There's an Achacha seedling that I got from the famous people up north. And I've put it into a root pruning pot rather than a bag this time. So this is one it's got the vertical slits along it. And I've used a fairly acidic mix with not much potting mix, mainly peat, perlite and coir. And it loves it. So it loves the acidity. The next to it is a new patanga tuber that I got to help the bigger one set fruit, but it hasn't flowered yet. We've got scarlet. They're really not the fastest of growers. Maybe I potted it too big, I don't know. But it's starting to kick with the heat. We've got custard, which is flushed several times this summer, looking really good. A ginkgo, if you want to use that for brain food, you can. Now, I've got a new acquisition here. This is from the people up north. This is a grafted achacha. Very spindly. It was grown, I asked, and it was grown in a poly house with quite high humidity and maybe not a lot of sun, I don't know. They're sort of probably covered in white paint to protect them, but it's got a graft here. It's got a nice graft, so it's growing healthily. So this the achacha is grafted onto madrono, which they say is fairly cold tolerant like achacha. So let's see if it is. Here we've got the beautiful red hybrid. Had a few fruit this year, and I've already planted them. The seeds, I mean, and last year's seeds have come up ages ago, and I've got little seedlings. But in here, I'll go sideways on the camera a little bit. It's got a lot of little flowers, just about to pop flowers, the flower buds. So they're all the way up, and they haven't opened yet. But I want to get this video today, while it's a little bit cloudy. Otherwise you can't see a thing when it's so bright. Okay, here we have Nathan, the dwarf Nathan, which still hasn't flowered. My bigger patanga tuber that's starting to produce a few flowers, but I don't believe it'll set unless it's got flowers on the mate. The king Thai dropped all its fruit, so it's fruitless this year again. It had about 6 or 7 fruit on it, and then this bad weather happened and a few cold nights, and then bang, they dropped. Didn't like that. The guabayu, this is a South American cool climate fruit from down south, in the south of South America, and it has a beautiful little fruit on it. Mercy and the Pungens is the name, and this one has flowered but hasn't held the fruit, unfortunately. Here we've got a carob that was grafted with the help of a friend. It's got a little graft just there, just in there, but that one had lots of little buds put along it. And this is S-Fax, which I think is San Francisco variety, but I tried to get some grafts of the self-fertile hermaphrodite one, and they haven't worked yet. I've done it about 5 times. Another red hybrid cutting, not a graft, not a seedling, but these are the little red hybrid seedlings just here. Cute little red hybrid seedlings. What's this? Oh, that's a grimel from seed that I grew a few years ago. The up here we've got a Davidson plum. Still hasn't flowered along the trunk, so no fruit as yet. Needs to be in a really big pot. Szechuan pepper growing right up here. It's a really, they're very sort of lanky sort of thing, but it has got fruit on it. All the seedlings that I'm growing on my barley table. Oh, these are little dwarf Grummy Charmers and Cherry over the Rio Grandes that I got from a friend. I did a swap with some other seed that I had. So I've got a few of those happening. What's in here? Oh, these are dwarf grummies as well. They're good dwarf grummies. Oh, here's the seedling from the ice cream bean. This is one seed made all these. How's that? Fantastic. Now we've got some fruit on the Pink's Mammoth this year. This one's a very, very hard one to actually pollinate. Extremely hard. And the Fina de Jete or Hete or whatever you want to call it, the one I love the best, Cherimoya, it's got a few nice sized fruit that oh, there's a big one there, just there. Yeah, that I hand pollinated before the end of December. You've got to hand pollinate before the end of December, otherwise they won't get the size like I did last year. Now, in here we've got the yellow dragon fruit, which nearly died. It got rot at the bottom last winter, and I had to repot it into a pot. Just here, you can probably see I've got the pot raised up, and it's in a perlite coir mix, and it's pushing out a fair amount of growth at the moment with the nice warmth. But I think the yellow, the prickly yellows are probably one of the hardest ones to grow in Melbourne. This is the beetle leaf for the famous beetle leaf dish that you get in Vietnam. When I had it at the Hanoi market, beef in beetle leaf, beautiful. So I'm going to try and emulate that. Better than using, what did they use? Grape leaves here, which is, nah, that's not how you do it. Actually in here, we've got the limeberry. That's about a metre tall now. That was only a tiny plant when I got it. Judy's Ever Bearing finger lime's got a couple on it. We'll have to get that in a bigger pot. Definitely needs to be up potted. Now we'll just go inside and I'll show you another Garcinia. Before I go inside, I'll show you the coffee. The coffee's looking really glossy at the moment, the coffee leaves, but it hasn't flowered yet. We're waiting for some rain. Coffee plants like rain, and then they will flower. But the buds are all there. There's lots of buds, all budding up really well. And I've got some fruit actually on this other custard apple. Oh, sorry, Cherimoya. So these are actually quite big. Hard to see in this light. Yeah, there's a few on it this year. So we'll go in and have a look at this surprise plant. Okay, the surprise plant that makes a good house plant actually is the Luke's Garcinia. Now, such big, flat, leathery leaves, beautiful leaves. This is an amazing plant, but only did one flush this year. I think it did 2 flushes last year. But yeah, this is only maybe a year or 2 away from fruiting. You never know. But I was thinking, because this has got two actual apical branches, it's got the second apical branch here. Can you see this one? I want to graft a cha-cha to this branch as a, some of the grafted a cha-cha, because that's a mature fruit, and that should fruit in a short time. Anyway, let's go out front. Okay, just sort of show the this Eugenia has started to flower again. This is the Matosii. It started to put out some flowers now. It had a lot of flowers in spring. It's got a few flowers now, but it's funny. 2 plants bought at the same time are both totally different in size. Like this one's so little, and this one's so big. Tell me the difference. Tell me what I did different. I don't know. They're same potting mix. That's why one of the other plant people on YouTube say buy a couple of plants, and he's right. But I actually bought 2 plants for pollination, so I don't know whether this needs another one to actually pollinate. We've got my epiphylium pollinators here, so I've got a couple of pollinators growing for hopefully flower this year, because I had to borrow pollen for this, which we call TP. It's a called Tyalgum Purple. It's got a couple of little, they're not real fruit, these are sort of, don't know what they call these, but these didn't form into decent sized fruit, which I've already eaten, and they taste like raspberry lemonade. So these weren't pollinated correctly. There's a couple on it, but they do taste alright, but they're only, it's a nibble. Now, I've still got, you know, wouldn't believe it, I've still got over 12-month-old Reed avocados hanging on here. This is this year's, and that's last year's. I haven't eaten them yet. There's a couple on it. I've been a bit slack eating avocado this year. Yeah, the American pawpaw is just starting to lose its leaves. It's seeing autumn's not far away. Now, this is a really frustrating plant. This is the yellow Japoticaba, and I know a lot of people have trouble growing it, but I don't have trouble growing this one. And I can't even remember if I take it in winter. I might. I do baby it through, but it loves the heat. Can't get it to flower. The carambolas, these are a nightmare plant. This is flowering up until, you know, sort of middle of December, and then it stopped, and now it's starting to flower again. Yeah, my other one over here, we'll just slowly go over here without making you dizzy. Yeah, that's got some flowers just here, and they're going to be hard to see in this light. There should be more flowers, but I can't find them. Yeah, so I've been really pumping the potash onto them. We'll go through here. Oh, this is interesting. This is the first fruit I've got on the Tropic Sun custard apple. This is actually an Antipodean. So this one has a really nice bumpy fruit. So that should be nice to taste. The cherry of the Rio Grande is nearly taller than me. This guy here, that's the cherry of the Rio Grande. Needs more sun. And my giant chili tree, you know, it's not a ricotta, it's a real chili tree that's nearly reaching the eaves. You know, what else we got here? We've got the Starling's White guava. There's quite a few on it this year. It's grown really well, finally. Had a taste last year. There's quite a few starlings on it. But unfortunately I lost my Hawaiian Supreme guava. It just bit the dust. Don't know why. Oh, here's another chili tree that's really tall. I'm growing chilies all over the place. The lamb hearse has got a couple of fruits still left on it, and yeah, I've got the wurts. Actually, there's a wurts there that has to be picked. I think that's just about ripe. Yeah, it's ripening, softening on the tree. Oh well, that's in the pocket. Now, what I did, I tried a different style graft of on the avocado. Don't know if you can see that. This is choquette. I had a nice big piece of choquette with a bud on it, and the bud is growing. It's starting to grow. So I haven't had many avocado successes lately. Now a lot of the fruit on the oh, there's a fruit. There's a lot of fruit on the multi-grafted cherimoya. They're all over the place this year. They're on trunks, they're hanging off trunks, and everywhere I could find a flower I'd do it. They're sort of all over the joint, yeah, but they should be growing faster than they are. Look, the Kwai muck. Okay, this is the Kwai muck seedling. It's above the eaves. It's above the gutter. So there you go. Look, you can grow Kwai muck in Melbourne. Can grow it. Now we'll go through here. The Taiso lychee. That was outside all winter but covered in frost cloth. It's right up there, and it didn't flower. Tell me why. And I had used a little bit of potash. I didn't overdo things because lychees don't like too much fertiliser. So I've got my fingers crossed for next spring. Yeah, you can see it. See it here. There's a good shot of it. It's looking amazing. It's just had a nice flush. Some of the interesting fruits I've got here. This is set fruit. This is the chocolate berry. It's I've forgotten the name of it, but it has a little berry on it. Yeah, name's not ringing a bell, but it has a berry on it that tastes like chocolate. And they're the berries. You can sort of see the berries forming, and that's probably a couple of weeks, a week or two away from eating. Now my tropical sapodilla has gone nuts. Still hasn't set fruit. That's coming up to 2.5 meters tall now. Lovely leaves, covered in flowers, fruit, well, not fruit, flowers, but this is going to be, hopefully my first fruiting sapodilla. Ben Hur behind it, still nothing. So Paul, how did you do it? How did you get your Ben Hur to fruit? Nightmare. Nightmare plant, that Ben Hur. Now, sneaking through the forest, I got a few fruit off the Canadian high berry, Saskatoon. Yeah, I had a few fruit on the Saskatoon. Now we've got another Eugenia here that's looking beautiful in the sun. This is the rainforest plum. Still no flowers or fruit on that. And we've got, it's still alive. The Palmer mango is still alive. The two Lucuma I've got in the ground here, they're still okay. Oh, I've got a plum. Oh no, I've got a lovely fig here. I think I'll grab that. Oh, I love figs. Yeah, so this is two Peruvian Lucumas that are two different types in the one hole. So you can see that, and I've got a green sapote that's taking its time in throwing new growth. It's trying. The soil temperature is correct. So, and I've given it some different foods, a week or so apart. Anyway, let's go up the front and see what we have going there. Okay, we've moved along, and we've got the yellow lemon guava. Got a lot of fruit on it this year. It's a dead branch, but yeah, it's absolutely loaded. It really needs to go on the ground. Don't know what I'll do when it starts to get, well, you can do a lot of pruning. You can prune them hard, and they'll love it, and they'll come back. Had an accident this morning or the other day on the mango here, the Nam Doc Mai. I actually broke the branch that had the fruit on it as I was turning it around and repositioning some branches. So I've mucked that up for this year. I've got a dwarf grummy charmer. So this is a cutting, and this should fruit pretty soon. Yeah, this is a Daly's dwarf grummy, because my seedling grummy still hasn't, well, it's flowered but not set fruit. Now we pan back and we've got the Lucuma, and when I showed you guys the fruit in that short, that flower was before the actual flower opened. Yeah. Keep forgetting how these things work, but it keeps dropping its fruit or fruitlets, and yeah, I think they have to be a few years old before they actually hold fruit. Got the bayberry, that's looking quite good, but this is the male, and I don't know what this one is over here. It's another bayberry, but it didn't flower last year. Now all the other mangoes are sort of coming back to life, after flowering. Yeah, this is the what's the Valencia Pride? We've got the Irwin, put out a nice flush, and the Glen. My grafted Kensington and Pride. Now in here, what is doing well is this Kohala Longan. This koala has really shot up this year, and that surprised me. I thought, when's this going to start to do something? So I've taken the top out. I've just flicked the top bud and hopefully start to get it to branch out. The Wilson starting to lose leaves. Weird time of year to go autumn. Don't know what's happening there, but white Sapotes do weird things at times. So we'll head out again. Okay, now I repotted the Chompu Longan, and that's loved it. That's just shot up with a lot of growth, and it didn't actually hold any fruit. It had flowers but didn't hold fruit. We've got the Cordata, what is it? Cordata, the giant Japoticaba. Now you might notice they look a bit white, because what I do at the start of summer, I spray a clay powder sunscreen on my plants so they don't burn, and it does work. Definitely does work. So this gets a quite good morning sun till about 11. The Jab had some fruit recently actually, but it only seems to have 1 or 2 fruit at a time, and I can't work that out. Slowly work with heaps of apples on this thing that it's the only big tree that I cover, but this is a Granny Smith that's loaded with apples down here. Got lots of apples, and the rats can't get them. Yay. So heading down here, what's good and new? Yeah, I finally got this jujube to shoot a central branch. So that's sugar cane or something, one of those ones. Now a few weeks ago, well, when I got the grafted Achacha, I got a free papaya, so that's already starting to chuck growth. So that's doing okay. Now we'll head through here. Everything else is doing well. Like the white Sapotes aren't doing what I'd like. They're not like the other fellow, because I'm letting them grow high rather than low. That's the problem probably. And in here I've got the Sabara Japoticabas just about to put some new flowers out, which is an odd time of year, but they can flower anytime. We've got a few flowers there showing. So we'll head out to the front and show you what's happening out there. Okay, this is a seedling Brazilian cherry, Suriname cherry, and the flowered, still not set fruit. And we've got seedling Sapodea. This has got really big leaves. Look at the size of those leaves. Still hasn't flowered. And what do we got here? We've got the Black Beauty Brazilian Suriname cherry, and that hasn't flowered really properly yet either, but it's looking handsome. And through here, the Patomba has suffered quite a lot. Don't know what's happened there, but it did flower, one flower, but it's lost a lot of growth, so I've had to cut it back. Now in here, this is what's probably fantastic. I grafted a piece of Irwin here onto a branch, and it's taken. I found it this morning, so I've opened the bag up to let some humidity out so it doesn't get too hot, so that the new growth can harden. But I did glen here on this branch here. That failed, but I might cut that back here next summer and graft some glen on. But I've got King Thai in the middle, so the actual plant, I'll go back and start again. The actual plant is a honey gold seedling, and I've grafted 2 years ago King Thai. That flowered, had fruit, and the bad weather we had knocked them off. But I've got a surprise still happening here. I'll go over here and see if I can show it. Go through the jungle. Where is it? Oh, it's in here somewhere. Oh, there it is. You might be able to see it. My first honey gold seedling fruit. That is holding on. That was hard to find, wasn't it? Yeah, so I'm keeping a bit of the sun off that. We've got a lovely Eugenia here, Eugenia repanda, that had a huge flowering recently. Flowered heaps, but I don't know if it's going to set fruit. I've eaten the fruit, but I don't know how it had fruit on it when I first bought it. I have no idea. Now I grafted some gee, what do you call these again? The got rotten car alarms going off in the background. The Chinese jujubes, yeah. So I grafted a bit of jujube down here, and it sort of grew up here, and then stopped. So I don't know what it's going to do, but I've got another sucker here, and I've got a few fruit. So someone tell me what I've got. Are these Chico? I reckon it's a Chico seedling. Yeah, there's a few Chico jujubes. Gee, imagine I couldn't remember the name jujube. Now, what's magical happening in here? Oh, this is a there's a flower. Can everyone see the flower? So this is the Natal plum. This is a cutting version called Desert Star. So one day I hope to taste the fruit. This is my BKD 110 that's in the ground. Now this is 10 years old. This it has fruit. It has sorry, not fruited. It has set fruit, but they fell off in winter. And you can see the clay I sprayed on it to stop it from getting sunburnt. Now here I've got. It's really hard to see it. Oh yeah, I'll pull this mango back. This is the Araca boy. It's a Eugenia that has a fruit on it that's very sour. I've tasted it in Penang, and I put the fruit into lead lemonade, and it was amazing. It was really tasty. And down here I've got some Garcinias. I've actually forgotten the name for now. But these I've been growing these for probably 6 years, and they're very slow. Garcinias are notoriously slow. You've got some citrus. This is a citrus that the rats ate all the bark down to the bottom, and it has actually come back from the rootstock, or well above the rootstock. This is actually what do you call it, Tahitian lime. But I've also got a bit of where is it? It's over here. Flying dragon. It's got flying dragon from the rootstock coming up. It's hard to get a photo of that. And I finally made the decision to move my blueberries into more sun, and they actually like it. As long as you give them a lot of water, they're happy. Now the last thing I'll show you, actually this is an amazing plant. I got this as a freebie too. This is what they call mother of all herbs. This one here, mother of all herbs, and it tastes like oregano. Yeah, it's Mexican oregano, and it's growing everywhere. So someone tell me what I can use it in. How can I use this Mexican oregano? Yeah, I've tried to sort of slice it up and eat it raw, but I wasn't really that happy about the taste. Kiwis, kiwi fruit. Now kiwis are one of the major things that I find extremely hard to do, but I've got 3 fruit from an enormous plant. I'm gonna almost give up on these and grow kiwi berries in future. It is a jungle in there, and this winter it's going to be a heck of a pruning job trying to get this to figure. But I got a couple of cuttings. Well, I actually got a cutting I'm growing off the Isai kiwi. Yeah, so I've got another one here. This one was the first, but this hasn't grown as well as the second. I've since learned how to do cuttings with these balls. But there is one fruit, well, there's a couple of fruit on it. I haven't found them all yet, but I think Isai is worth growing. So I'm going to whip out some of the female kiwis and grow those instead. So there you go. Oh yeah, at the back it's hard to see. I've got a B3 lychee. I repotted that, and that didn't flower either. So hoping for flowers next season. But it's all looking good in the Melbourne subtropic fruit jungle. On a beautiful sunny day. We're coming up to the end of summer. So thanks everybody for watching. It's a long video today because I felt I needed to do a long one just to show what's happening. And I just wonder if you could like and subscribe and comment down the bottom, and I'll reply to all your comments. So look forward to hearing from you. Thanks for watching.